I say forever. It's been working. Why is it not working now? Cancel. Oh, where is that thing that I have to do? See, now I have to try to remember, like, how to go turn this on. Yeah, if everybody used Beam, it would be great. But, you know, they don't use Beam, so this stream is offline. Yeah, it shouldn't be offline, though. Because I have it set up. What if I add... What if I do it as YouTube Gaming? Double payment. Okay, let's delete that channel. And let's add a new channel. That's YouTube Gaming. Which, whatever. And use it as Treehouse. Yeah, you can allow that. I'm going to have to restart the stream here in just a second. Just so you know. Okay, so I'll be right back. Alright, started the stream. We'll see if or when it comes back. Alright, says it's back. Is it working? Is it up? We got 4, we got 5. The more we got 7. It must be up. Because otherwise I wouldn't be seeing people coming in. But it's not showing on our front page. Why is... There it is. It's on that page. Alright. So, it says we've got 9 people watching. Alright. Alright, I'm just going to close all this. I'm going to assume that it's working. And I'm going to say hi to the people who are watching. I don't know what happened this morning. All of a sudden, everything just stopped working as far as my my streaming thing goes. Like, I connected, it wouldn't ever show YouTube as being on, and yeah, so that was weird. But now it looks like it's working. I've got 9 Conky coming in saying hi. I've got Omar Ali coming in saying hi from Morocco. Hi Omar, how are you doing? You live in a country I've wanted to visit for a long time, so maybe someday I'll get to come over there. Yeah, so happy Friday morning, everybody. It is the 17th of February. It's a little bit later than normal because I couldn't get YouTube working for some reason. It was... I don't understand computers at all. Just in case you had any sort of inclination that I knew what I was doing when it comes to computers, I have no idea. Computers are a giant mystery. So yeah, hi everybody. Hi Sergey, how are you doing? Hey Pause, again, we've been chatting a little bit because you've been you actually got on Beam. So yeah, there's all that. All right, so yeah, Conky, we're gonna do React.js today. At least that's the plan. We'll find out. I have done all of one React tutorial ever, and that was a couple of months ago. But I've done JavaScript in the past. I'm a fast learner. I have all these tabs right here open that will hopefully explain to me how to do how to do React stuff. So what's the worst that can happen, right? The worst that can happen is we spend a couple of hours together and I don't actually get it done. But we still enjoy our couple of hours and everything's cool, right? The best thing that happens is that it all works and we just get to enjoy everything. Let me try to get this music a little bit better controlled here. And we can just enjoy our time together and have fun, and everything will be good. Oh, pause. Is today the end of the 15-minute challenge? Okay. I didn't know that. I helped Alina and a couple of others plan that, but then I kind of dropped off on it, so I don't know what all's going on there. But good luck to everybody who participated in the 15-minute challenge. I really like the idea of it. I had a really hard time doing it though. Oh, today's not the end. Okay. I had a hard time doing it though because I just had other stuff I had to do each day, and then like by the time I would remember the 15-minute challenge, it was like 5:50. And I usually stop working about 6, so it was like, well, I don't have time to do it. And every time I would do it, I would end up spending like an hour instead of 15 minutes. So yeah, it didn't work out well for me. But maybe I will continue in the next part, and maybe I'll get more done. So let's see, we've got other people here. Mohammed Awad has come in. Hello, Mohammed, how are you doing? And TR Audi, you want to learn Java. I've been doing the Java, like the Learn Java track on Treehouse as the 15-minute challenge. I've worked through Java Basics, and I'm on Java Objects, or Jobjects, right now. Java's not bad. Java's an interesting thing. So I don't dislike it. It's a very different way of thinking from Python as far as code development goes, and the overloading of classes or overloading of methods inside of a class thing is just so weird. Like I don't get that part at all. Those of you who do understand that, congratulations. I mean, I get it. I understand what's going on. I just don't get why you'd want to do it. It's just weird. But you know, whatever, that's cool. I don't get, like, currying in functional programming. I find that to be a really weird and silly thing to do. But some people love it, and that's cool. Let them love it. Okay, so, we've been building this site for a while. Y'all remember what this thing looks like, right? It's this thing. And, what I want to do is I want to now try to do as much of this in React as possible. I'm not predicting that we'll have the entire site working in React. Simply because I don't know how far I'm going to get, right? We'll find out. But I want to try and get at least a little bit of it working, partly so I can show all of you how to do React with Django, and partly so I can show me how to do React with Django, because I don't know how. But we'll find out. Sergey is reassuring me. Sergey says that Python and JS are the best friends in web dev. So here's hoping. I really hope they are. Dustin and Kevin have shown up to the chat. Hi, how are you doing? And Ahmed, how are you doing as well? Ahmed says that he is a front-end developer with 2 years experience, but still has a productivity problem. You know what? Productivity is not the end-all be-all. Productivity is just another aspect of your work. There are days where I get a ton of stuff done, and this was true back when I was a developer and now that I'm a teacher. And there are days where I get nothing done, and you know what? That's fine. Both those days are fine. Now, you're going to have some employers that are not as kind and forgiving as I feel like they should be, and you can't do anything about that. All right? Those employers are just those employers. But good employers know that it's not about how much you get done in an individual day. It's whether or not you meet your goals, whether or not you you achieve the work that needs to be done. So while I can't say, well, don't worry about it, just try to make sure that you're meeting your targets, right? If you've got a thing that you need to get done, then do it. Sergey, are you gonna make an API for this project? We made an API last week. So, if you didn't watch last week's episode, go back and watch it after this one's over, and you can see the you can see all the stuff we did to build the API. It's pretty simple API. We just exposed users, so we can create users and log users in. And we exposed the thoughts thing so that a user could see the thoughts they've logged and log new ones. So the API is not extensive. It doesn't cover all of the thing, but that's what it does. We also added basic HTTP authentication, Django session authentication, which that's built in by default, and JWT, JSON Web Token, JavaScript Web Token, whatever that is. We added one of those authentication libraries so that we could log in through a JSON Web Token, which is what I'm assuming we're going to end up using for most, if not all, of React, and most, if not all, of the mobile applications we build on top of it. So yeah, that's what we've got. So go check out last week's if you want to see what we did, and it actually was way simpler than I thought it would be. I was very surprised. I'm glad that helped, Ahmed. And Jamie, welcome to the show. It's a show? Sure, welcome to the show. Okay. I'm going to start by installing Django Pipeline and Pipeline Browserify, and then I'll get to your question, Kelvin. So let's see. I need to do the plus sign. And Django Pipeline. Pipe Jam, what's that? Okay. Pipeline and Pipeline Browserify. I need to install both of those. Alright, so we'll get those installed. So Kelvin asks, do I need to learn Python Django if I already know Ruby on Rails? If you want to write Python and Django, you'll need to learn Python and Django whether you know Ruby on Rails or not. Because two different languages, two different frameworks, right? Python's not Ruby, and Django isn't Rails. So, yeah, you got to learn them both if you wanna know how to do them. All right, so both of those got installed. I don't think we need anything else on here. If we do, we'll come back to it. All right, let's hit OK. Let's see. Insomniac Sky says, how can be productive by joining on Treehouse? How success stories, but doesn't give much info. Need a guy to make up money for my second semester at MPEI, computer engineering. So Treehouse is a school, right? We're here to teach you stuff. You will only be as successful as the energy you put into it. So you can come learn 15 different languages from us. That won't make you successful, right? That just means that you know 15 different languages. But if you take those 15 different languages and you go back and you can apply that into getting freelance work or working for a company or doing higher billing or more billing, then that makes you more successful. You can be very successful without Treehouse, but we're a great place to learn stuff from. And if you feel like your success is going to hinge on whether or not you know JSON or CSS or Python or whatever, then we're a great place to give you that skill and that ability. Ahmed, do you think isomorphic apps is a good thing? Tell me more about isomorphic apps. I've heard the phrase, but I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. So bring me up to speed on it, and then I'll tell you if I think it's a good idea or not. Sergey, why am I on Windows? Why not? Why not be on Windows? Windows is fine. Windows is a great framework. Framework. It's a great operating system. I don't know why people hate on it. Windows 10 is just as secure, if not more secure, than Mac OS. And Swift on security and I will both fight you on that if we have to. Okay, so we installed Django Pipeline and Django. So Django Pipeline is a library that handles like building a pipeline. So I've got these SCSS files or these TypeScript files or these whatever files, and I need to get them into CSS files and JavaScript files, right? So Django Pipeline is an asset management tool that will handle transforming those things along the way. So, and then the Browserify one is going to use Browserify to handle organizing all this stuff. Now, I'm following a tutorial at this point because I don't know what I'm doing. Tutorials are a great way to figure out what I'm doing. So, just letting y'all know that's what's going on. Alright, so we need to install some stuff. So let's pop open this terminal and let's do npm install, not install, install Browserify. And I'll let that run for a minute because I know I got npm installed. Ryan, you've watched 3 weeks in a row and you've enjoyed it so much. That's great. I'm very glad you've enjoyed it and glad to have you back. So welcome back for your 4th week, or is this week number 3? Regardless, Ahmed. Okay, so it's basically when we're putting all of the front end work into JavaScript kind of stuff, and then the back end stuff is handled by whatever. Yeah, I think those are a good idea. I think it makes the most sense to put the UI under the control of something that knows the UI really well. As much as I love Python, Python's not great at UI, right? We've got 3 or 4 libraries that do UI, and they all do it well, but none of them are amazing or perfect. They're okay. They're good. JavaScript is much better at doing a UI, especially in a web browser, than what I'm going to do through Python. Alright, so let's see. Dustin says, Treehouse is a teaching tool that allows you to move at your own pace, ask the teachers like Kenneth questions directly, and allow you to learn by answering other students' questions. That is exactly true, Dustin. That is just exactly what we are and what we do. Alright, so let's see. What else? We also want Uglify and Babel. So let's do npm install-g uglify. And then we'll do this Babelify and the save deb. Cool. All right. So, you're watching me from the bathroom stall? Oh, or you watch Treehouse from the bathroom stall. Is there a reason why you can only watch Treehouse at work in the bathroom? I'm very curious about that now. Like, that's cool. I'm just very curious. But okay. All right, so Bowser.json to keep the project sane. Well, but why aren't you gonna show me how to make a Bowser or Bower, not Bowser? Ha, Bowser, Bower. Do I just do Bower init? I don't have Bower installed. I'm assuming I can install that through npm. Aaron, yeah, our idea is to use React for the front end. So my idea is eventually to create a front end or the actual web component of the app as completely divorced from Django. So they'll only talk through HTTP, right? So like that's it. That's my plan. How do I install Bower? You know, people talk about there being... Oh, it's still doing that. Okay. Do your thing. There we go. Okay, cool. And then we do Bower init. Name. Sure. No description. No main. I don't even know what the main file would be. Yes, I don't want to publish any of this stuff. Sure. Looks good to me. I want to see what's hanging out in here. So we have a name, we have a description, and we have that stuff. Okay. That's cool. Let's see what else has shown up in here. So we've got our node modules, which is fine. Is that it? That's all we've got? Okay. That's cool. Okay, so now we're going to use Bower to okay. So I'm actually guessing that they want, well, whatever. I want to go into feelings and then assets. And then JavaScript. Yep, that's where I want to be. Okay. So then Bower install save React.js. All right. So Dustin, you're a banker. Okay. Normally at work during this time, but you like to take a bathroom break to watch this live session on Fridays. We can't be away for too long. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't want you to get fired, and I don't want you to get anybody angry at you. But it's pretty cool that you're interested in this enough to be doing that. Package React.js not found. Can I do a Bower search? Does that work? It does. Okay, Bower search React.js. That's it. That's all we've got. I wonder if there's a better way. Let's see what we can find here, y'all. Turbo gears. Oh man. That's a thing. If I remember correctly, there's a... Yeah. Okay. PyReact. Yeah. Let's try this out. I mean, it's official, right? That's coming straight from... Ooh, that's loud in my ears. That's coming straight from Facebook. So, project is no longer actively maintained. Well, what am I supposed to use instead? Come on, Facebook. What else should I be using? Sergey asks, how do you manage slashes in the paths? In Windows, it's backslash. On Unix, it's /. What about settings.py files and paths for static files, for example? Can you run this project on Linux after Windows? I'm going to answer your last question first. Yes. Oh, you think it's Bower installed React? I'll give that a try, Ahmed. Git is not installed or not in the path. I'm going to hop out of this terminal, and I'm going to get into a realer one. Okay. Not that one. There it is. And then feelings and assets and JS. Yeah? Okay. Bower install... What was that command? It was save. That's it. Okay, so Sergey, yes, you can run this project on Linux after Windows, and the reason that you can do that is because of stuff like the fact that we are using... Where'd that go? Here it is. So using this kind of stuff right here means that we don't have to worry about slashes. So if you're writing code that you think is going to be going back and forth between platforms, Or if it ever has any chance of going back and forth between platforms and you're using paths, then you want to be sure and use Python's os.path, and it has some friends and relatives scattered out throughout Python, but you want to use those because you want to use those because Python is smart enough to know what the delimiter is between directories based on the OS that you're on, and you don't have to worry about writing that yourself. So, yes, this is perfectly possible to use on Linux, Mac, Windows, Unix, FreeBSD, whatever you want to run it on. And that's because we're using Python's pathing libraries instead of using hard-coded paths. Don't ever use hard-coded paths. Okay. Kevin asks, any idea why in PyCharm terminal with my virtual env active, when I type pip freeze, I'm getting my local packages instead of those installed in the virtual env? I don't know why you would be getting that. There's a good chance that PyCharm is not actually activating your virtual env, maybe? That's all I can guess. So you could try manually activating it. Aaron asks, can I use React or any framework for front-end instead of templates using Django RESTful API? Yeah, you can use whatever you want in front of Django REST API. You don't have to use Django's templates. Yeah, that's up to you. Would Django's templates be a reason for your site being slow? Really unlikely. Django's templates are pretty fast. You'd have to be serving tens of thousands of requests per second before you'd start to notice a slowdown of templates on most servers, like on a EC2 medium instance or above. If you're on an EC2 free instance, I don't know. I have no idea on that one. Eugene, all the way from South Africa. Wow, how are you doing? Glad to have you there. Okay, let's see what happened here. I said save React Bower, invalid meta. No, bower.json. Yeah. Let's do... Nope, I need to go higher than that. That to here. Okay, and then I'm going to rerun that save thing. To make sure that it gets saved correctly, and it did. So now, let's open up that Bower JSON again. And sweet, now we've got React as a dependency. Nice. All right, what else do we need? We also need jQuery. Really? Okay, that's cool. Let's do jQuery as well. Yeah, Kevin, I can try pip freeze here in just a minute. Let me, terminal. All right, so it looks like it's active. Let's see if I do which Python. It doesn't know which one. Python -- version 3.6. Okay, and then pip freeze. That looks like just the ones that we have installed. I don't see anything different there. So it looks like that's working. Why am I not using node modules for that? I'm following a tutorial. I tend to do what the tutorial says until I get to the point that I don't know what I'm doing. Does that make sense? But that said, if this completely fails, I will let y'all direct me, those of you who know better, and we will get stuff done. So, yeah, how's that sound? Okay. So, yeah, I imagine they publish on NPM before they publish on Bower. I also have a feeling that by now it's pretty easy to publish on both at the same time, so I'm gonna guess it doesn't matter. I don't know. We'll find out. We will find out. It'll either work or it won't, and that'll be fine. There's no shame in something failing. All right, so now let's see what else this person has here. In settings.py, or whichever settings file you decide on, add the following. So they're bringing in abs path, base name, dir name, join, and norm path. And then they're replacing base dir with dir name, abs path file. Why are we doing that? I don't see the point in doing that. All right, I'm not doing that. I'm ignoring. I just got through saying that I like doing whatever the tutorial says to do, and now I'm like, no, I don't like that. I'm not doing that. Okay, so let's add pipeline to this, and then we're gonna go down here, and there's nothing new in there. All right, and then static stuff. Let's get down here. We've got static stuff somewhere. Static URL is that. Static root. Okay. So let's do, nope, that should be all caps. Static root equals, I'm just going to do os.path.join basedir and static. Although actually, let's see. If I do that, that puts it in there. I'm wondering if I want to put it out one so that it's level with like node modules here. That would make it easier to publish to S3 once we go live. Let's not worry about it for now. For now, we'll just do static. So that's fine. And then, all right, let's see. We've got some more. Hello? Oh. We've got some more stuff here. So let's see. Static files storage. Pipeline.storage.pipeline cached storage. And then static files finders. And then django.contrib.staticfiles.finders.file system finder. django.contrib.staticfiles.finders.app directories finder. Spelled that right, didn't I? Yep, app directories finder. Okay, and then pipeline.finders.pipeline finder. All right, cool. And let's see, I've seen some chat stuff go by. Yeah, it's better when you just type one command. Sure, yeah, I understand that, but again, following a tutorial on a thing that I don't know super well. Thanks, Vedran. Glad you like all the stuff in the room. It's a little messy. I need to clean up some stuff, but that's fine. Okay, so now let's talk about this pipeline stuff. So we've got pipeline compilers. Pipeline underscore browserify dot compiler dot browserify compiler. All right, and then pipeline CSS compressor and pipeline JS compressor. All right, so this is going to be pipeline dot compressor dot nope compressor. I'm guessing that's a no op compressor. And then pipeline dot compressor dot uglify JS dot uglify JS compressor. If debug pipeline browserify arguments equals -t babelify. Cool, I guess. All right, and then pipeline CSS is a thing. And I realized I just called that pipline, not pipeline. And let's see, pipeline JS is a thing too. All right. Yeah, Ahmed, I actually have a desk that will move up and down. So, my site CSS. Let's call that feelings CSS. And then we say source file names, and in here we would have feelings CSS, css/feelings.css, and then our output file name would be css/feelings.css. Okay. Let's say output, just so that we can see the file. Yeah, Dustin, I always type it out instead of copy and paste. You do not learn by doing copy and paste. Feelings.js. All right. Source file names. JS, Bower components. jQuery, dist, jQuery.min.js. I will copy and paste like that, though. And then React, and then React, and then JSXT transformer .min.js. Nope, just JS. And then React with addons.js. Okay. And then js/app.browserify.js. Okay, cool. And output file name is going to be js/feelings.js. Sure. All right. There's a lot of stuff that we're doing there. All right, so let's make sure this thing is still running. Let's make sure this will run. It'll run. Okay. And if we come over here to say here and we refresh. Okay. We get some sort of error here. So we have no attribute called pipeline. That's true. I don't think I wrote anything named pipeline. Like just straight pipeline. Let's go check out Django Pipeline and see what it is expecting. Okay, we add pipeline. When we do that, we do that. Is that it? So we do all of this. Instead of doing all of this stuff, we do all of this in here. I mean, that seems a lot easier. Pipeline. Okay. Pipeline enabled. True. Okay, and then let's take all of that. And change this to JavaScript. And then feelings.js. Source file names still looks the same. Output file name still looks the same. And then I'm going to guess that we do this. And probably instead of that, we just do CSS. And then, of course, that. right? I'm gonna guess that that's it. Need to trim the beard. What are you talking about? Oh, it's style sheets, not CSS. I don't understand what you're talking about. That makes no sense. Why would I trim the beard? That makes no sense. Okay, and then we had these two things as well, right? So these should be in here. But they should be CSS compressor and JS compressor. Okay. Template namespace. I don't want to mess with any of that stuff. Okay. So there's this compilers thing. Did I see that somewhere? Collector enabled. All right, I'm going to leave the rest of this stuff alone for right now, and we'll just see if it works. Okay. So now run server. You going to run? There we go. All right, so that's working, and then this one. Sweet. Okay, so it's up. It's alive. Yeah, sorry, I didn't post the URL in there. For one thing, it's very hard to get URLs to work in this kind of chat. YouTube really doesn't like showing URLs. Okay, so now let's try these templates. All right, let's collapse that. Let's collapse a bunch of this stuff, and let's open up our layout template. I've been trying to get used to. You can do a whole lot of like this auto open and stuff, and I keep forgetting to use it, and that's really too bad. Can I soft wrap that? Whatever, it's fine. Okay, so we're loading that stuff. Okay, let's load pipeline. And then I want to change this to style sheet. And then feelings CSS. That's what it says. Let's try that. Let's find out what that does, if anything. All right, and then back over here, refresh. I did not get my style sheet. Inspect. Network. Refresh. CSS. Failed to load. What does it look like? Let's see. Head. Oh, it does that whole thing for me. So I could do DT that and then take that off? Really? Okay. But nothing is going to static because I'm in debug. So how do I change? Here we go. There was a thing here about whether or not the collect... True if assets should be collected and developed, false if not. So I'm thinking... here there should be pipeline collector enabled. Should be false. And let's see what that does. That didn't change anything. Okay. So if I come down here and I stop this and I say collect static, there's nothing in there, right? Yeah, there's nothing in there. Yeah, so again, I don't know how many configurations there are for React. It's just ridiculous. Ahmed, do I have all of these config in setting.py because of using Django templates? No. No module named pipeline compressor. Okay. Python console. Import pipeline. That's true. What does pipeline have, though? It's compressors. See what happens when you don't necessarily read everything correctly, kids? Not that y'all are kids, just, you know. Can't find the file specified. I'm just going to take that one out. I don't even care. We can use Yuglify, whatever Yuglify is. Why can't you find your compressors? Like your built-in default compressors. What? What is wrong with you? Oh, pip won't work there. Yes, it is a habit. I do that when I'm thinking. So, yeah, that's just the way that works. Failed building wheel for RCSS min. Angular 2 might be easier. I don't know, Sergey. I have absolutely zero experience with Angular 2. So, I don't know. We'll find out. Django Pipeline. Is there a way that I can, like, reinstall that? All right. How weird. Let's see if there's something I'm missing here. So pip install Django Pipeline. We had pipeline in there, and we had that. That's it. That's the whole thing. Oh, and then I have to install Yuglify. Okay. Well, that makes sense. So that means I should be, like, in here. What is it? Save dev. And Yuglify. Vedran, we do this every week on Fridays. No such file or directory. I'm wondering if I shouldn't be doing this inside the other thing. Which means I should go into feelings, assets. Let's not worry about it. Is Yuglify a thing? Not a thing, as far as you know. Okay. So, let's try this now. Still can't find it. Okay. So, I'm doing something wrong. Let's figure out what I'm doing wrong. Let's install that globally. npm install-g Yuglify. Oh, can't do that from in there. Okay. Now let's try this. Still fails. You know what? Let's try this. Let's try restarting that. Because sometimes it does get a little tied up, you know? That wasn't it. Alright, so let's try this. Where is my interpreter? Okay, so let's do that slash dot virtual envs slash feelings scripts activate PS1. Cool. So now if I did like which Python, it's that Python. All right. So now let's go into feelings Python manage.py collect static. Yes, do it. Okay. Still can't find that file. So it's not my fault. All right. So how did we do this wrong? Or what did we do wrong on this? So it looks like okay. And if we do ls static css, we've got those. Okay, cool. So that worked. So let's just come back over here and let's just do run server. All right, let me restart PyCharm real quick, because something's being weird. And I will look at chat, because that's something I should do. Rayan asks, what 2 libraries did you make for Python? Do you mean like what libraries that I released? I created one called Django Braces, which is used for mix-ins for class-based views. And then I have also created Drill, DJRILL. That was one for sending like transactional emails and stuff. That one is not supported at the moment. All right, so our CSS is still not loading. We got a 404 there. Feelings output CSS, that got a 404 as well. But if I come over here to my projects, and that one, and that one, that one, and that one, that's right there. It's funny that it can find that one, but it can't find the other one. Let's just fix that. Okay. So yeah, and I also made one called Banana Pie, which does OAuth against MailChimp. And I created one a while back called Django Hey There, that was for doing messages and emails and stuff in Django, but that one basically got abandoned right away. I built it just kind of on a whim. Paul asks, will you use ECMAScript 6? Maybe? I'll use whatever I can. That's kind of all I can say there. Ritesh asks, why do we use console.log instead of printf in JavaScript? Well, you don't use printf because printf doesn't exist, right? And use console.log because you want to log to the console. Yeah. Vedran, you don't actually have to put the reminder in your calendar. If you enjoy using YouTube, you can go to the YouTube channel, you can click the subscribe button, and then there's a little bell next to it, and that bell will tell you how to do stuff, right? Oh, what is this? Pause. I mean, I'm not doing anything on Elastic Beanstalk. I see you've got this npm-g install Yuglify. I don't think Yuglify is the problem. I think I've got Yuglify working. I think it's just not other stuff going on. Right? Like, yeah, see, Yuglify is there. Let's try doing this again. Yeah. It can't find something. What can it not find? Let's see if all of these things are... Whoa, that's not what I wanted. There we go. So if we go into assets.js and we go into Bower components, Is it this file? Ah, I was so hopeful. Is it that none of those are in static? We have React DOM. What if we don't do it this way? What if we just build, like, what if we just start doing React and we don't worry about Django stuff? That, or let's try one other thing here. Let's try this Webpack thing, all right? Okay. The root of your Django project. Silence. Yeah. Sometimes I gotta think, man. Sometimes I gotta think. Okay. So that gives us two things, which that's cool. That's what we want. And I'm gonna do rm-rf node modules. Del node modules. Okay, and then del feelings static. Yes. Del feelings assets bower. Okay. So, close, yeah, close that. That's cool. Okay. Then we're going to go into here and we're going to remove pipeline. We're just going to reset. You know what we're going to do? We're actually just going to do this. Version control, revert all of that. And then there really shouldn't be all those unversioned files. All right, cool. So, hey, look at that. Everything's back to normal. So an hour in, we've done nothing, but that's cool. That's fine. Okay. So, let's see. Ryan asks, what's the difference between subscribing to Team Treehouse's monthly plan and learning Python web development from all courses available and the tech degree, since the price differs by a mile? So the difference between those two is that the tech degree gives you a bit more information in a few places, and it also gives you projects to complete as you move through all the courses. So these are standalone projects that don't show up in any of the courses. So we help you build a portfolio of things that you can show off when you're done with the tech degree to potential employers or whatever. If you don't feel like you need projects, or you don't feel like you are looking for a job just yet or whatever, then the regular monthly plan is absolutely fine, and you will get a lot of benefit from it. So it just kind of depends on what you feel like you need. Dustin, if you think like I think, that doesn't mean you're a genius, because I'm not a genius. I'm very mediocre at all of this. So, I don't know what to do there. Okay, so, I can't see what's going on here. Okay, so, I don't know if I need to do that inside feelings or if I need to do that inside. Okay, I guess I need to do that inside feelings. So literally inside the project root. Okay. And then we're going to do npm init, which is going to do stuff. Feelings, sure. Yes. I don't care. I don't care if that stuff is all correct or not. We will figure that out as we go. And yeah, Sergey, React is kind of weird. But a lot of this configuration is just because we're having to do stuff to make it work with Django. It's not necessarily that React itself is weird. If that makes sense. Okay, so npm install --save -dev React Webpack bundle tracker Babel and Babel loader. Is Django development easier on Windows or Mac? Vedran asks. Honestly, I haven't found that much difference. There are a few things that are a little easier on a Mac simply because of the Unixy underpinnings. But none of them are deal breakers when it comes to Windows. The only thing that I have found on Windows that I haven't been able to do yet is nicely run multiple versions of Python, which is not a thing that most people have to deal with, right? That's a thing it's more something I have to deal with as like an open source developer than it is anything that the average I just want to build stuff in Django person has to deal with. So yeah, I wouldn't feel like you have to do anything there at all. Okay, so we've got this assets folder and a JS folder, and then inside there, this person is suggesting I make a new file that is webpack.config.js. Yep, that's fine. And a new file that's called index.js. Oh wait, but Webpack, the Webpack one's not in there. The Webpack one is out here. That's what it looks like. All right. So, okay. And we'll scroll this up so we can see what's going on. Okay, so simple Webpack config to load .jsx files using Babel and use the Webpack bundle tracker plugin to extract information to webpackstats.json. Okay, so Webpack config. Let's see what's going on here. So we got var path is equal to require path. We have var webpack is equal to require webpack. And var bundle tracker is equal to require webpack bundle tracker. All right. I understand all those lines. Y'all understand all those lines? All right, module.exports. And then we got some export stuff here. Okay, so context is dir name. Entry is ./assets/js/index. That's the entry point for our app, which is that index.js file that we just created. Okay, cool. Output path.resolve, spell that correctly, ./assets/bundles, and file name is name-hash.js. Cool. I guess I get that. Plugins. New bundle tracker. Nero, you love watching these. You have no idea what's going on, but you find it relaxing. That's cool, I guess. Hopefully over time you will figure out what's going on. Because, you know, seems like it would make sense to learn what's going on at some point. But I'm glad you're watching even if you don't feel like you know what's going on. Okay, module. Loaders, not loads. And then our first one here is test /JSX $$ So it's looking for JSX files. Okay. Exclude node modules. Loader. Babel loader. And that'll do the transform. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to do this thing here called resolve. Modules, directories, node modules, and Bower components. Guess we're doing Bower stuff again. Extensions. Okay. Okay, cool. So I've got warnings here. What are these warnings? 6 warnings found. Okay, whatever. Cameron says multiple versions of Python in Windows is really painful sometimes, but it's easy now. You're used to it. If you have a guide for how to do that, send it to me because I could not get that to work. So yeah. All right, let's see if our thing looks like what they're talking about. So they've got the root of their project. They've got manage.py. They've got package.json, webpack config, webpack stats.json, which that'll be configured, node modules, which is right there, and then they've got this assets directory, which has its thing, and then there's JavaScript, and then there's bundles, which will be created by webpack. Sweet. So we have the same setup that they have. So that's progress. Okay. Binaries shipped with node packages are installed to node modules.bin, and it's not added to path automatically, so we need to use full paths to the binaries. Installing binaries globally, like npm install-g webpack, will add them to one of the binary locations on path. Let's go ahead and compile our first bundle. So, from here, yep, we're going to do node modules.bin webpack config webpack.config.js. Invalid configuration object. Webpack has been initialized using configuration object that does not match the API schema. Configuration.resolve has an unknown property modules directories. These properties are valid. Object, alias, alias fields, cache predicate, description files, enforced extension, enforce module extension, extensions, file system, main fields, main files, module extensions, modules, plugins, resolver, symlink, unsafe cache, use sync file system calls. And extensions 0 should not be empty. Okay, that I get. Maybe this one should just be modules? Let's try that. Oh! Whole bunch of something. Cannot find module Babel core. Well, I did that npm install thing a while ago, right? Seems like I wouldn't need to do Babel core, but... Oh, Cameron. So yeah, it's just for while you're installing Python. Yeah, I only have 3 installed. I probably need to reinstall 2 and try to get it working as well. I'll eventually get that, I guess. Okay. Okay, so all I had to do was install Babel Core, which this thing didn't tell me to do. Right? Yeah, they just listed Babel, not Babel Core. Okay. Still kind of weird that it didn't have the other thing, but I guess that's okay. So there's our bundles directory that it said would show up, and there's our Webpack stats file that said would show up. Let's look in here. That's just stuff. Okay, that's cool. And now we want to put this into watch mode, and that will leave the compiler running while we're building stuff. Okay? So node modules.bin webpack config webpack.config.js watch. Okay, webpack's up and watching the files. Leave the compiler and running. Compile modules automatically when you change any of your stuff. Okay. So, I do not currently have a React app running. So, let's do this simple React thing. Excuse me. Okay, so we are going to do inside here, inside JS, we're going to do a new file, index.jsx. Yes, add that. All right, so var react is require react. Var app is require /app. I don't know where we got /app from, but okay. Whatever. React.render app. Document.get element by ID. React app. Okay. And then in app.jsx, var react equals require react module.exports equals react.create class render function return h1 hello world. All right, so if we look over here, we should see it building stuff, and we do. Cool. So now we need to install some Django stuff. Cool. So let's go over here to our settings and our interpreter, and let's add Django Webpack Loader. There it is. Install that. Mohammed says class-based views are not comfortable for me because I feel I have less control on my code. Yeah, I mean, there are people who feel that way. I'm not one of them. I don't really think that you lose any control by using class-based views, but at the same time, there are alterations you have to make to your workflow. But whether or not those are worth it for you and your project is totally up to you, right? Okay, so then we have a thing down here, which is Webpack Loader default bundler name bundles stats file os.path.join baster webpack stats.json. Cool. So our server should have successfully restarted. Or we'll do it manually ourselves. Okay, so Let's check and make sure that this page over here will still load and still has our CSS. We're good, right? That all still looks the same. All right, let's go change our index page. So instead of saying this stuff, we're going to put in our React thing just for a little bit there. All right, so where's that thing I was looking at? That was this thing. All right, index.html. Okay, load render bundle from Webpack loader. And then right here, I'm going to do render bundle main. Is that what I called the thing? What does that do? Doesn't look like it did anything. Inspect. Can I pop this out? I can. There's my pop. Nope, that's not the pop out. There's the pop out thing. Okay, sweet. Console. Any errors on this page? No. Okay, that's a good sign. Render bundle will render the required script and link tags in the template. Okay. Everything we need is in place now. Bundles will be automatically generated provided you start Webpack with Watch. Django will automatically pick up latest bundles from Assets Bundles directory. During development, Django will also block any requests while the bundles are being compiled. It'll also propagate errors generated by Webpack to Django. Now that we've Webpack working with Django, let's make things a little more fun by setting up hot reloading for our React components. Oh, I missed a bit. Div ID equals React app. Yeah, I remember getting that wrong just a second ago. I remember not typing that. So now we should, ideally, shouldn't we see? React app. And then app right there. Is it the semicolons? I don't think it's the semicolons. That's trying to load something from static. That loaded something from static. But that's not doing anything. Right? Figure out what I'm doing wrong. Did the script source render in the HTML? Yeah, that's it right there, right? Let's move this thing. We have a thing. We have a block.js. That's it. Okay. So then block.js. that thing. And we could also let's put that in there just to make it a little easier to see. So it should be like down here. That is definitely not coming in though. Okay. You know what? Here's a good idea. Here's a really good idea. All right. So I want to go to a file, and I want to go to app.jsx. And I want to open a file, and I want to go to index.jsx. All right. So is this thing not working? Let's just keep reading. Maybe there's something that we missed. Or something that I missed. But it says it will render the required script and link tags in the template. Can I view the source without... No, there's not any way to like actually just view this flat source, is there? Okay. Sorry, I see things coming up over here. Mohammed asks, will I make a Swift stream? I sure would if I knew Swift, but I don't know Swift. Carlos asks what we're making. We are making a web app. We've built the web app. We've built an API for the web app. Now we're trying to turn it into like a React website, which is so far not going well. So, yeah. Isaac, yeah, we're working through React stuff. Isaac asked if there's an issue. We're working through some React stuff, and so far it's not working well. So that's fine. We are we're working stuff out. So yeah, I really feel like that should be showing up. Or we should be getting a console error or something, right? Yeah, there should be something going on. Let's see, I want to watch this network. That's only showing CSS. Let's look at JavaScript. So it's loading that one. Shouldn't it be loading like React stuff too? Or am I showing how little I know about React? Y'all can tell me. I'm gonna keep playing with this thing and see what comes up, because something's wrong, and we're gonna solve it. We're gonna figure it out. Actually, let's look over here at this. Let's just look at the actual notes here and see if there's something that I'm missing. Isaac, if you've got any ideas, feel free to post them. And if not, just watch and enjoy the fact that you get to watch live debugging, because this is a good chunk of what HTML, or of what web development actually is. So, you know, that's what's fun. All right, I wonder if we should do this React DOM thing instead of just React. Let's try that real quick. Okay. Okay, so it looks like I need to cancel that real quick. Yep. Okay, npm install. What was my npm command before? I mean, this is save dev. Okay. So let's install React DOM. And then we'll start running our thing again. Okay. Okay. And then let's pop over here. And let's try doing this one instead. So we've got React. Let's just do this. Comment that out. Comment that out. Comment that out too, actually. Okay, so let's try this. Import React from React. Import React DOM from React DOM. Wow, it's almost like writing Python there, huh? React DOM.render something. We're going to render h1 hello world. And we're going to do that on document.get element by ID. What do we call that? React app. Right? And then close that. Save that. Come back over here. Refresh. We still get nothing. All right. View page source. Okay, that's fine. There's our nav bar. There's our React app div. There's our bundle. Okay, and everything down below here we can ignore because all of this is debug toolbar stuff. We don't care about debug toolbar stuff. We can actually turn off debug toolbar. I wonder if that might help. Let's find out in a minute, though. Okay. I don't want to do that stuff. I'm not trying to do that stuff. All All right, does anybody see something that we're doing wrong? If so, let me know. Because I want to fix it, of course. I want to do this the right way. See, I'm still wondering about that. Let's look up Webpack. And let's figure out what this Webpack config thing should be. I'm going to assume that we're in Webpack 2.x. Okay, that does whatever that does. I'm not looking for any of that. I want to look at config. Webpack.config. So something like that. Module exports. We have an entry. Should that be .js? Bundles. And then we're doing the file name of that. Okay. Path, we did that. Okay, so let's try. I have a feeling I have to. There we go. I have to restart the thing. Okay. Let's look at this Webpack stats. Okay, so now, just to see if anything changed. Nothing changed. All right. Development. Hot module replacement. What? All right, I don't think we're ready for that yet. I don't think we're there yet. I guess we'll figure that out eventually, but we're not there yet. Okay, so let's look at Webpack config resolve and see what that is. Where I don't have one called root. As you can see in here, I'm looking for one called React app, and that is in. Oops. That is in here. See, React app and React app. So we're not using one called root. Main fields. Okay, so modules, that's the directories that should be okay. So that used to be, we had a different name for that one before, right? Back when we first set this up, that had a different name. And that different name was modules directories. Webpack config modules directories. I want to see if this has gotten like removed or whatever. An array of directory names to be resolved to the current directory as well as its ancestors and searched for modules. This function is similar to how Node finds node modules directories. For example, if the value is mydir, Webpack will look in mydir. Passing some dir app or an absolute path isn't necessary here. Just use a directory name, not a path. Use only if you expect to have a hierarchy within these folders. Otherwise, you may want to use the resolve.root option instead. So I think we want modules to be like that. I think we're good. I think our setup is correct. I think I just don't know what I'm doing with this other stuff, which is totally possible. Let's try this other thing that they're doing here and see if that works. And if that doesn't work, then we'll come back and try some other stuff. Yeah, Sergey, I don't know why it's not working and doesn't give us any errors. It should. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing here. So we did the Django Webpack loader, and we did all of that stuff. That's all fine. The problem is this isn't working, and it is generating stuff. That's so weird. Okay, let's see if Django Webpack has changed. Django Webpack loader. And yeah, it is copy paste code, but it's not copied and pasted. So that's the weird part, right? Is this the one that we were already looking at? Yeah, it's the one we're already looking at. Okay. Consumes the output generated by Webpack bundle tracker. Okay. There's the install, which we've done that. Okay. And then we've got our assets. We're good there. We've got path, we've got Webpack, we've got bundle tracker. Context is the dir name. Entry. They keep leaving off the dot there, so I'm going to leave that off too. Output, path.resolve, bundles, Webpack bundles, whatever. File name is name and hash.js. Okay. And then plugins, new bundle tracker, file name, that. Okay. Okay, and then let's come down here to Webpack Loader. Webpack Loader. Default. Bundle dir name is... Ours is bundles. Theirs was Webpack bundles, whatever. Cache. That's a good one to set. Not debug. So if debug is set to false, then the cache is set to true. Vice versa. Okay, that's what we want. Stats file. We've got that set up. Poll interval timeout. Ignore. I think we can not worry about those too much. Cache, bundle dir name, stats file. Ignore. Poll interval timeout. Usage. File extension to match. Okay, let's try that. So this, whoops, should be JS down here. And then, did we have a CSS block? We do. Block CSS, all right. So then, like that, CSS, CSS. Okay, so now let's check our file again. And we got no new CSS, which I guess is okay. But we've still got our JavaScript right there. And if we go look at that JavaScript, it's still all of this stuff. I want to try something real quick. I have no idea if this will do anything. I have no idea if this should do anything. I have a feeling it shouldn't. But it does! So should index.js have something in it? I don't even think we should have index.js. Is that the problem? Unexpected token. Okay, well at least that's something I can work with. Why was that an unexpected token when that's literally what... I mean, okay. Const element equals h1 hello world. Element. So it still doesn't like that. Okay. How about like that? No, you still don't like that either. You're okay with that? Okay, cool. Does that do anything? No! Okay. Let's go back to the code that this was telling me to do. Where did that go? There. Okay. So let's go back to this code. Right? Because we had that. We had that. Back over to here. Yeah, terminate that batch job. Do that. There's nothing wrong with that. So what is going on? Okay. They obviously tell me to touch an index.js right there. And we're not doing anything in that index.js. Which is why I'm thinking it wasn't doing anything in index. Right? But I know for React, this is perfectly valid. Right? This is the kind of stuff you do with React. I've played with this a couple of times. And I remember it being just like this. So, what is this not doing? Okay, assets, JS, new file, index.js. Nothing in that file. Are y'all gonna be happy? Okay. But 0 bytes, because there's nothing there. What is this thing doing? This makes no sense. Does any of this make any sense to y'all? Like, at all? Do any of you see something that I don't see? Well, you know what? It's noon. I'm out of time for today. But I'll stick around. We'll answer some questions. If you've got questions, post them now, and we'll talk about them. And I will figure this out before next week. And next week, we'll actually have React stuff working of some sort. I will have something working. Because I will lean on the people at Treehouse that do React. I will read through all these links. I will have something working by next week. I'll have it committed and in the repo, and then we will start from there next week. I got no ideas. I'm lost. So thank you all for tuning in and for hanging out while we worked through this. 'Cause wow, this was so weird. Yeah, Cameron, weird things happen. I don't know. So Django with React, not as friendly as I hoped. We'll figure it out though. Or I'll leave this up to y'all as well. Do you want to just skip React? And we'll go to trying to build an Android app, which I also know nothing about. I will work through some Android stuff during the week. So y'all can help me decide there. Would you rather stick with React and we figure out what's going on with React, or start trying to do Android? So what would y'all like to do? Let me know what you think. What y'all got? Anybody? Questions or suggestions for next week? What do you all think? Just waiting on messages from y'all. Yes, Conky, the JS world is weird. JS is such a weird world. I honestly don't understand a lot of it. I've done JavaScript for years. I played with it for years, but it's not a thing that I know a ton about. And yeah, doing JavaScript makes me like Python more. I'm sure if I got far enough into JavaScript, it wouldn't be as big of a deal, right? I'd be just like, oh yeah, I do this, and we're all done. I'm not there yet though. So yeah, that's just where I'm at. So Ryan asks for Android, says that they know Java, so they'll love it. People are asking for Android. All right, so I'll tell you what, we'll leave it like this. Some of y'all want Android, which is cool. I like the idea of Android. I will play with I'll play with React a little bit more. See if I can get it working. If I can get it working, then cool. We'll do some more React next week. If I can't, then that's fine too. And we will add that. And we will we'll start on Android or something else, whatever it is that we decide to do. Let's open this up. Hey, check this out. We've got an error here. Okay, React invalid component element. Instead of passing a string like div, pass react.createElement div or div. Okay, I did that. Let's refresh this now, though. Do we get anything else? No? 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 You don't see it? I thought I had something. Okay, I guess I don't. All right, so Mohammed asks, how long does it take to be a good programmer if you work hard? There's a thing that says, to master anything takes, 10,000 hours? I don't think it takes 10,000 hours to be a good programmer, but I think it's definitely the kind of thing that you need practice, right? You need practice, and you need experience with a lot of different and weird scenarios, right? So, it takes a while. It takes a long time, but it doesn't take forever. So, you stick with it, and the more you practice it, the better you get at it. So, I can't say how long it takes. I would say to be a good programmer, in most scenarios, it's going to take you at least a year, probably 2. Just because you have to experience a lot of different things and try a lot of different stuff. Eugene, there will be a video next week. It will be either React or Android, or maybe Angular. Sergey's really pushing Angular. I might try it and see if anything comes up. But I don't know. I don't know what'll happen there. And then Inchik? Sorry, I probably screwed that up. Is there going to be another live one tomorrow? No, there will not be a live stream tomorrow. As far as I know, I'm not doing a live one tomorrow. So no, it's just every week, every Friday. Every Friday for me. It may be Saturday for you. I'm not sure. And yeah, Conky, there's the JSX file. There's really nothing special in here. That's pretty simple. And this one isn't even being loaded at that point. See, the thing I don't get is we're not doing anything in here. Like, it seems like that file just should not exist. Right? But then this thing gets all sorts of angry. And I don't get why that's so angry. Like, that's completely valid. But it's dead. It's not working. So, I don't know. All right, we'll work on this next week. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you on Friday next week. So, have a good night. Have a good afternoon, good evening, good whatever it is for you. So, I'll see you later.